Good morning, dear students. Today we have a concept to discuss criteria for choosing a brand elements. Okay, so we discussed elements of brand in a last class, that is brand name, logo, symbols, slogans, jingles. All this comes under the elements of the brand. So you cannot just go and make a selection of the brand. We are having some criteria which is going to help a company or which is going to help a marketer to identify brand element effectively, and it is going to make an impact on a sale of a particular product. And in that criteria for choosing a brand element, first one we are having a memorable. We are going to choose the element of a brand which is very much memorable, easy to recognize, easy to recall by the customers. And we quoted an example of your propane gas cylinder. Profile gas cylinder. Okay, and the name Blue Renault featuring a powder blue. Okay, this is the Renault, and with the distinctive yellow flame and likely to stick in the minds of the customers. So it is going to protect the cylinder pipe, what we are going to use for the connectivities of the cylinder and the gas stove. This is how the customers is going to remind propane gas cylinder with the symbol of or the character. We are going to call it as animated character. These animated characters are going to make a more impact on recognizing and recalling a particular brand. Okay, and the next we are having element criteria for selecting a brand element is meaningful in the sense it should be rich in visuals and verbal imaginary. So the brand elements may take all kind of meaning with either descriptive or persuasive contents. Okay, so it may be descriptive messages or it may be a persuasive messages. Okay, descriptive, it is a Minute Maid, the Minute Maid bottle actually. So the figure is not visible, so you can see there Minute Maid, the pulpy juices, orange juices. So it is going to give a description about it is a orange juice or it is a mango juice. It is made up of pulp of the orange, pulp of the mangoes, and that essence is going to make customers to purchase a product. And I cannot give a label here the mango juice because it is having a contents of orange here. So I'm going to tell the customers that a meaningful message here. We are having a orange juice here and it is made with the pulp of the orange. The meaningful messages I'm giving. I'm not giving any false statement to the customer. So whenever you are selecting a image or selecting a label using a different character, symbol, colors and all, it should be very much meaningful. And the next one is appealing. The brand element should have a appealing, fun and interesting. Okay, I just quoted an example of Ferrari here with the symbol of horse. So the Ferrari, it is going to make itself with the comparison of the horse. We are going to make identification of fast running, correct, so it is going to again give a descriptive and persuasive element, reduce the burden on marketing communication to the to build brand awareness. So through indirect association attributes of the brand, the customers easily recall and easily recognize and make a marketing communication very much simple. So if they identify the or symbol here, it is going to lead that Ferrari is so fast riding car. So that is how it is going to make a appealing towards the customers. And next we have adaptable. It should be flexible and updated. Okay, so whatever the elements you are choosing as a brand elements, it should be adaptable, which should be flexible one, which should be updated one. Flexible in the sense, as I told you when discussing a brand element, you cannot change the name and you cannot change the logo now and then, but how it should be flexible and updated. I just show this figures to you. Then it is a Michelin advertisement pictures, how it was and how it is now. Okay, so Michelin now it is white and white. Now it is flexible from year to year for the actual environment, actual dynamic environment. It is going to update itself. I cannot show the world picture now where the customers having a improved product and modified product and updated product with their hand. I need to give a updated element of brand only. So that is why the brand elements is also called as flexible, updated one and adaptable one. And next, protectable. The brand elements need to be protectable. Okay, it should be protectable legally, and it should be protected by competitively. So why it need to be protected legally? In the sense, it is going to be make copied by other competitors. They may use your logo, they may use your slogan, use your brand name, everything. So in order to avoid that, the brand element should be protected legally. So that is one of the major criteria when you are selecting a brand element. Next is protectable. Next is transferable. So means within or across the product category, across geographical boundaries and culture. The criteria what you are selecting, that should be transferable. Means what the criteria, like either it is a name, logo, symbol, jingles. You are selected for a particular product in India, in the sense the same thing need to be applicable to the other part of different countries in the world. So in that way, it need to be having a criteria for transferable from one place to another place, within a nation or with outside the nation. It may be in a domestic level, national level and the international market environment. So these are some criteria you need to keep it in your mind while selecting a brand elements for your brand. And lastly, we are having some types of brand names. They may ask for a case study. Types of brand names are individual names. First one, individual names, very interesting here. The major advantages of individual name strategy is that the company does not ties its reputation to the product. The company is not going to tie with the reputation of the product. It is going to, if the product fails, it is not going to make a hurt on company name. It is going to hurt on a product, that's all. So I just quoted an example here, Procter and Gamble, P&G. So P&G, we are having Ariel. We are going to give a individual name for a individual product. Ariel, we have Tide, we have Head and Shoulders, we have Pampers, Vicks, like that. But company is P&G, and it is producing a washing powder with the Ariel, washing powder with the Tide, shampoos and Pampers and Vicks and all it is producing. It is giving a different name for a different product available in a market. That is called as a individual name. Next one is blanket family names. So blanket family names means, by listening this, the name comes to our mind is Tata. So it is having a huge categories of the product line actually. So but all the products are going to be associated with the Tata. We are going to call it as Tata Automobiles, Tata Salt, Tata Tea, Tata Coffee, Tata Steel, like that. So that is called as a blanket family name. And next we are having another two types of brand here, separate family for all products. Okay, so but company name will be same. The Aditya Birla Group in India follow this type of a policy. I just quoted an example here. For a cement they are having a Ultratech. For aluminium they are having a Indolco, and for textile they are having Grasim and Grevia. So like that, the company name will be one, Aditya Birla Group, and they will be giving a separate name for a products, but they are fall under the same family, that is Aditya Birla Group. So it, you may call it as blanket family names only, no ma'am, but here all the products are tea, coffee, salt, everything we are having, but it is associated with the one company name, the Tata Salt, Tata Tea. But in a family, separate family name for all products, in the sense we are not going to call it as Aditya Birla Group Ultratech Cement, Aditya Birla Group Indalco for aluminium, like that. Aditya Birla Group will be there, we are going to call it as Ultratech Grass Cement Greenware. So that is a major difference between these two. And the next one is corporate names combined with individual product names. I just quoted example in the last class also. It may be Kellogg's, Quaker Oats, like that. We can quote example here. Kellogg's combines a corporate and individual names, like Kellogg's Raisin, we have Kellogg's brand, we have Kellogg's Cornflakes, we have, correct, so Honda, we have Sony also. Some of the example we can quote here for the corporate names combined with the individual products name. So very important concept, even though it may looks like simple, if they given a case study, it is very confusing, which is a separate family name, which is a corporate name, and which is a individual name, like that. So we'll be very specific and clear about this type of brands, and criteria for selecting a good brand element. So by this explanation, we end up with second chapter. We'll start with the first fresh chapter, that is chapter 3, in a next class. Thank you all.